Folks, welcome back to this week's edition of the Coaches Show. My name is Khalil Stewart. We are now joined with head coach Eddie Robinson Jr. Coach, how you doing today?
Doing good. You know, it always feels good to have a win, especially a homecoming win. So it was an exciting weekend here in Montgomery, and the fans had a great time showing up for the game.
Coach, homecoming is always great to have people come out and support, see some familiar faces, see former teammates, former classmates, and former Hornets. How does that make you feel? Y'all got the win, and the momentum is at a high right now.
Yeah, I mean, we knew this was a big game, mainly because it was the next game. We were trying to go 2-0 in the SWAC East, and to play that homecoming game here was always exciting. We've had some great homecoming games here. Some we won, some we haven't, so it was good to get a win. It's always great when you can go back to the tailgate, and I tell you, as you know, we're part of the entertainment. Mm-hmm. So the biggest part of the entertainment is the game itself. That way everybody can go back and really enjoy the homecoming and just be festive the entire night, and it was a great weekend.
And right now it really feels like all the momentum is on our side, and it's led to what people are calling the game of the century, the game of the year, the biggest game in 10 years out in SWAC history. How is your team, kind of riding the high, but you're trying to keep even keel at the same time?
Yeah, it's win today. I think you have to have that same approach regardless of the outcome. The strength is in the routine. So we have so many things that keep us focused on one day. So we know we have to go out there and have a great Tuesday, great Wednesday, and get ready for Saturday. You can't worry about Saturday before it gets there. You got to stay in the moment. And so that's the type of thing we've been preaching for the last couple of years, so the kids already know it. So we don't have to make an adjustment. We just have to follow the routine and just go out there and perform on Saturday.
And talk about the mindset coming to this game this past Saturday, because obviously it didn't start out how you wanted with that first big play. Trey, people say you got caught looking in the backfield, but you talked about the fact
that was just fast.
Yeah, right. But after that, it kind of y'all settled in and things really changed a lot. Talk about that.
Well, I think whenever you start off a game, you're kicking off, you want to get into it, you want to score first, especially at home. You don't want to give the road team no momentum, but credit to Bethune-Cookman and Coach Woody. I mean, those guys have an exciting offense with Cam and those guys, and their receiving core is like a 4x100 team. So we know they could run. Lost containment on that play, and they was able to make a play. But the good thing is nobody on the sideline got flustered. It was just, hey, man, let's get to the next play. Trey, put that behind you. In the secondary, sooner or later, you're going to give up a play. Right. So I love the way that we came back out with the kickoff return, the offense, Body, and those guys responded right away to just get a very methodical drive to go down the field, take control of the game back on our side, get the fans back involved, and then just play Hornet football. And it really seems like in years past, you feel like you've been able to rely on that defense a lot. Now it seems like as soon as Bethune's offense scored, it was okay, offense will come back, they're going to have a methodical drive and really submit control of this game. Yeah, and so early on, you're trying to get back into a tie situation, and that next one we drove down there, and you're saying, should we go for it on fourth down? But I had it on my note card, hey, don't chase points early. So you got to understand, when you have an explosive offense, a lot of time coaches make that mistake of there's almost one more play that they can't stop. But they play defense too. So to me, you have to respect the game. You have to stay within the routine. We took the 3 points early on. Andrew did a great job of making that kick just to get the momentum and then build into the game and let it unfold so that way you can make those correct decisions early on.
Absolutely. Well, folks, stay tuned. We'll be right back after commercial break.
Alabama State University, the place where history is made. With over 60 accredited degree programs and 18 intercollegiate athletic programs, we've focused on student success for more than 150 years. Our rich legacy is built by the history makers of today, shaping the leaders of tomorrow. Alabama State University, where your future begins and history continues to be made.
Back again, we are here with head coach Eddie Robinson Jr. Coach, huge game, and it really felt like, I think that you knew this offense, Bethune-Cookman's offense, was just as explosive as your offense. What was your mindset as a defensive-minded coach? Obviously, you won a 9-6 game, but that was far from what this was.
Well, it was one of those situations, honestly, the offense was scoring really fast. And so sometimes when the offense scores too fast, the defense doesn't get a chance to rest, doesn't get a chance to recover. And it kind of reminds me when I was playing with Warren Moon in those run and shoot days. They were scoring 3 plays and they would get a 9-play drive. They're scoring 2 plays and it's a 12-play drive. So defensively, we played 25 snaps. They've only played 6.
Right.
And that can hurt you at the end of the game. The good thing is that we were able to run the football, control the tempo of the game, so that way the defense can get those chances to recover. Still in all, we know defensively we don't want to give up 35 points. I had a couple situations where we could have improved that outcome, the final outcome. But at the end of the day, you want to win the game. So we're never going to apologize for how you win. But at the same time, you got to work on those mistakes, giving up some of those long fourth down plays, letting the quarterback run, getting out the pocket. But you got to tip your hat to Coach Woody and those guys, man. He's moving in the right direction. They're going to score a lot of points. They're going to beat a lot of teams, and they're going to be a very hard team to beat in the conference. One of those wins where you say, I'm glad I played them early, and we don't have to worry about them anymore, and you just move on to the next game. And, we got big things focused on this week.
And obviously, I know one of the things that you as a defensive-minded coach, you would prefer to hold the team to 0, but it has to feel good to see 52 points on that board for your offense.
Yeah, man, that's the most that we've scored in quite some time, and the offense has been, and they're getting better and better week after week, just getting more and more efficient, and still feel like we can get better. It's still a couple plays that we didn't make, and we're trying to play that perfect game. And I think that's the biggest thing. I think what Body's doing is really just running the offense. We ran it 40 times, and from a quarterback, he only threw it 16, but he was very efficient. And I think that's the biggest thing. We want to be very efficient on offense, eliminate the penalties. We had 1 penalty in the first half and 6 in the second half. So I was excited at halftime, like, man, we're moving in the right direction. But it's always room for improvement, and that's our mindset. We're trying to improve and get a little bit better every day.
And one of the things that really felt like each time this team is able to run the ball, your program, when y'all are able to running back start, because it's a running back by committee.
Yep.
It's not one guy, it's Jamari Holtzclaw, it's Marcus Harris, it's Carl Ligon. And everybody is kind of taking on that mindset. And it really, even Jabari Kirkendall, I'm surprised they didn't review that touchdown.
Right.
Because I
was like, hey, man, kick the ball. We were I was like, hey, let's just get this over. But it was a legitimate touchdown.
Yeah.
Great play on him. But I think the difference is a lot of times when you say running back by committee, it's like you have a committee of 4 guys, and none of those guys can really be the guy.
Right.
I mean, we have committees of 4 guys, and I told them in the meeting, like, any one of those guys could have had 150 yards rushing if he would have got more attempts. So I just love the way that those 4 guys are being unselfish. Coach Juwan Lewis is really having that 3-3-4 stable mindset, and they block for each other, they root for each other, and I think that's what means it makes you a contender to be a championship team. When guys in the room are genuinely happy because the other team scored, because your teammates scored. And I think that's what we're really focusing on. And I love that with those guys. A couple of those guys scored their first touchdown, Carl Ligon and also Holtzclaw. He's been getting there real close, 125 yards, no touchdown. So it was great to see those guys get into the end zone. And then Kirkendall is kind of like the unsung hero. He does all the dirty work, runs down on kickoffs, kickoff return, everything else. So when he gets a chance to touch the ball, everybody's excited for him also.
And with the running backs, these aren't huge running backs. Like outside of Marcus Harris, you got the little, I think a few years ago, you referred to the guys that can hide behind the offensive line, and next thing you know, they jetting up the sidelines. Talk about those guys.
Yeah, man, I think that's the biggest difference. Just from me as a coach, my first year I was like, hey, I want the Eddie George, the big back, the prototype. But I think just the way the game has evolved, you have to have guys that can make somebody miss and go 80 yards at any time. And with Marcus, even with him, a bigger guy, you can see he can still stretch it out and run 30 or 40 yards. It's just the defenses are so good. It's hard to go 8, 10, 12 plays. So you got to have explosive players on the field. We have to know whoever touches the ball has a chance to score. That puts a lot of pressure on the defense. It's kind of like playing a basketball team where everybody can make a 3. I think that's where college football is going to right now.
And even as an offense as a whole, you have multiple guys that can make plays at each level, running back, wide receiver, and I'll even consider the offensive line people making plays because they're the ones that open up the field for the offense.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We've been talking about those guys. We don't really talk about them until they mess up, but we've had over 300 yards rushing, I think, with 288 the week before, over 300. So, I mean, when you start running for 300 yards, there's some teams that go a whole season and they don't rush for that amount in one game. So we're doing it, and the offensive line is a big part of it, and we're making it seem like it's routine. But, man, that is a high level of efficiency where you can run for that many yards. And Coach Carr, Coach Green, and those guys, they take it personal. Every time we run for over 300 yards, they get a trip to Golden Corral. So I owe them 2 trips right now. So in the bye week, I'm going to have to make sure that I pay up. But, we love those guys, man. They practice hard. Playing in those trenches as always. You get banged up, beat up. Nobody calls your name until you make a mistake. But we appreciate everything that they're doing all the time.
And what is it with this offense that's clicking right now? Because being able to, I don't think y'all scored less than 30 points all year long.
Well, I think it's just executing. I mean, that's our name. That's our thing we put on our shirt. That's our word this year. Execute at a high level. Just go out there and perform. Just do your individual job. And I think Coach Barnett kind of starts from the top. It filters down to all the other coaches. And I mean, those guys have been working with them from the summer. And even the new players like Dylan DeJet, they've kind of all fit in. And everybody's just enjoying their role. And I think the unselfishness part of it is what I like the most. It's not about did he score or did I not score. It's just whoever turn it is to score, that's where the ball is going. And of course, can't say enough about Andrew Body and the job he's doing just administering the offense and running everything at a high level.
Absolutely. Folks, we'll be right back after this commercial break as we preview the Jackson State game. Stay tuned.
This is the beginning of a new day. God has given us this day to use as we will.
We can waste it or use it for good.
What we do today is important.
We exchange the day of our lives for it.
We want it to be good, not bad.
Gain, not lost.
Success, not failure. In order we never regret the price we paid for it.
This is the beginning of a new day.
Alabama State University, the place where history is made. With over 60 accredited degree programs and 18 intercollegiate athletic programs, we've focused on student success for more than 150 years. Our rich legacy is built by the history makers of today, shaping the leaders of tomorrow. Alabama State University, where your future begins and history continues to be made.
It's the game that everybody feels like is the game of the year, but there are a lot more games after Jackson State, and there's a lot more games ahead. So talk about this matchup. It's a huge game. It feels like it's two offenses that have been on a collision course all season long. There is similar offenses. Y'all ran for 388 last week. They ran for 388 last week. We beat them at their homecoming. They beat us not on our homecoming, but this past year. What's the feeling?
I mean, it's going to be a great game. It's a privilege to me. I'm just honored to be available, to be a part of this type of game and to coach these type of games. I mean, when you're a young kid, you want to get ready for big games and just, going back to the Jackson State of what they used to be back when W.C. Gordon and Coach Markman, we played against them in some really big games. So, you talk about the excitement of when Steve McNair came there and played at Jackson. So they've had some huge games. Jerry Rice played at Jackson. So you look at all of the huge games in the conference over the last couple of decades, Jackson State was usually involved at some point. So I think for us, just realizing the big picture of the historical aspect of it, but then just from a simple standpoint of it's the next game on the schedule. So the last couple of games, every SWAC game we play, we say it's a SWAC championship game. So we're going to have that approach of this is a SWAC championship game, but then the next week it's going to be the same approach. So to me, hey, the strength is in the routine. You have to go and do the same thing. Like I told the kids, after every time we play a game, win or lose, I get up Sunday morning, I ride 35 miles on my bike. So I didn't extend it and ride 60 because it's Jackson State. The strength is in the routine. If you do the routine, the outcome is going to take care of itself.
And how are you keeping them focused on, hey, everybody, the outside noise is big into the hype of this game, but at the end of the day, it's still another game. It's their homecoming. You want to ruin it, but at the end of the day, it's still, you got to win the game.
Yeah, man, you just have to pull up there and play. And for us, it's win today. So we're excited about going out there and having a great week of practice. You have to enjoy the preparation. The preparation will breed confidence. So we know the opponent. They know us. We played against them last year. They played against us. So it's going to be a great game. I know T.C. Taylor. He knows me. So he knows what to expect. I know what to expect. So now the kids just have to go out there and execute. At the end of the day, we're going to be on the sideline. So they have to go out there and each play and execute at a high level. And I think these type of games is not about plays, it's about players. So it's going to be some players who are going to make some big games, big plays, and then it's always going to be that unsung hero guy, that freshman, that kid that we didn't expect that's going to go out there and make his play. So I tell the kids, when you have an opportunity to make a play in a big game, it happens once in a lifetime. Just take advantage of it.
Last question, how does it feel for you to be coaching in a game like this? I mean, I'm sure you would love to be on that field playing in this because it's an offensive game. You're a defensive player. Talk about how it's got to be a special moment because it's two explosive all FCS offenses, best offenses in the country you're watching right now.
Yeah, so I'm going through my normal preparation. I'm watching my film, getting prepared for it. I take my notes before the game. Saturday morning, I'm gonna wake up, go to a coffee shop, give my final notes, go out there and just enjoy being out there and part of the atmosphere. I mean, playing at the Vet is a special place to play. I've played there a couple times as a player, coached there a couple times. So we've had some great memories there. So now we're going to go out there and just perform at a high level. The fans will be there. The excitement will be there. It's on ESPNU. So it's just a whole lot that can be said about it. But just from where the SWAC conference is right now, HBCU football, for the showcase to be on HBCU football and the SWAC, I'm just happy to be a part of it. Feel privileged to be a part of it. So try not to get too excited, Khalil, but we'll be ready for Saturday afternoon.
I think Hornet Nation excited. Y'all agree? It's going to be a great game, folks. It's a big game. 2:30 kickoff. We'll see you in Jackson, Mississippi after a Hornet victory. See you next week.